I was thinking, which sometimes can be a dangerous thing, but if I was going to talk about my life, and not just back in the day in general, perhaps we should talk about where it began. I'm sure we all have a first memory, that one event in our lives that we recall as being our very first thing that we remember. Mine, I found out, it was a little traumatic probably for me at the age I was. And it turned out to be a little more humorous when I found out later on in life just exactly what had happened. There was a time when little kids, 2 years old and 1.5 years old, you first started walking. And for some reason, when we did, they put these little shoes on us that were like high top Brogan type shoes with real stiff soles. I don't know why they would do that unless they thought it was going to reinforce your ankles or something, because they were almost impossible to walk in. You kind of had to waddle more than walk. Apparently, I had gone out in the front yard near where we were living and decided to stick my foot down about a 3-inch pipe, ceramic pipe, probably some kind of a drain pipe. My foot went down in quite easily, but it wouldn't come back up because of the stiff soles on the shoes. And what I remember was my father, my dad, digging me up, digging that pipe out, and taking a hammer and breaking that ceramic pipe to get my foot out. That was, I think, my very first memory. I vaguely remember trying to feed my little sister strawberry jam in her crib. She was, I was born in April. She was born a year and 1 month later. And I vaguely recall driving down from Oregon to Utah, sitting in the back of our old Chevy. And then after that, things started becoming, pretty regular memories, where we lived, where we shopped, the job that my father had, and things like that. But, I think those first memories have to be something strong, something that really was notable for you to start recalling those things. One of the more interesting first memories was my mother's. She was born in 1924. And her first memory, there's a big park here in Salt Lake, Liberty Park. It's still around. It's a very beautiful park. They were having a parade for Charles Lindbergh. He had just flown across the Atlantic nonstop, which was a significant event, and he was touring the United States, and they had a parade for him in Liberty Park. And she remembers that. And that would be quite a vivid memory, I'm sure. My father, I don't think he ever really conveyed to me his first memory. I knew he grew up in Minnesota as a farm boy, and having to go out and feed the cows and milk them and do those sort of tasks, which is probably why he was such a green thumb. Our yards were always immaculate. The grass and the flowers and the fruit trees. That was always a good memory too. But think back on that. What was your first memory? What's the first things that you recall? And were they significant? Are they now? Are they still important to you? It's always something interesting to delve into. So from that point on, like I said, I have a pretty good memory of everything after that. Except maybe for drinking a little too much when I was in Germany. I might have lost a little time there. I don't. I didn't do that for too long. I realized how much of a problem that could be. But hey, I just spent 15 months in Peshawar, Pakistan. I needed to wipe out a few memories if I could. That's for sure. I'm hoping that as these videos continue, that I get better at them, that I get better at the editing and the posting. This is a new adventure for me, and I'm really looking forward to it. And I guess the usual thing to say in these, don't forget to like, subscribe, and send them along to others if you find them interesting. But for now, we'll just put this one to sleep. Call it finished. Thank you.